Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Imperial Galactic Survival Weekend Seattle building. Uh, so we are going to be working on the Raven's Claw Reborn today, and I have I'm going to go ahead and spawn in something else that gave me some ideas that I'm gonna go ahead and spawn this thing in and see if I can use some of the ideas from this. Yeah, and I should probably. It's very bright around. Well, let's change that a little bit. There we go. That's a little bit better. And it might help if I turn that off. Oh, was that the reason it was so bright? Because I had my light on? Yeah, that makes more sense. So, anyways, this for those of you who are going to be watching the Monday stream is something that I will be reviewing on the Monday stream, and I'll leave it at that. So leave a little bit of mystery there. But I want to do a couple of things with the build that I saw on this, and see if I can incorporate some of the stylings that this thing has, and yeah, incorporate them on here because this looks a little bit too blocky for what I want to do, and want to spice it up just a little bit. So we're gonna go do. So now that we have the base frame here that we did last weekend, we're gonna spice this up, and let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, I'm just gonna look at it here for a minute, just get my bearings, and because my throat's being a little bit, I'm still sick, so my throat's being a little bit. Thanks. I'm gonna fix this real quick. All right, I am back, and I have coughed and done all that lovely things that you don't want to hear on stream. So, sinus infections, no joke. So let's go ahead and get the SV parts and put this in the pad real quick. You really took a second to do that? That's interesting. So I'm gonna put that in there. Not gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna worry about placement of these blocks. And try to keep my OCD in check. So we're gonna need cores. Okay. I mean, I've already moved the core. It's fine. And so we're gonna need SV blocks. So we're gonna need steel. And I don't think I'm gonna do hardened steel because that just makes it harder to bring in. And I really don't want to do that because it's a starter SV. You don't want to make it hard to, a starter SV hard to bring in. I mean, that's just counterintuitive. Okay, anything else that I'll need? Maybe these thrusters, maybe the fuel tanks, maybe the generators, these thrusters, and landing gear. Definitely going to need those. And maybe some LCDs, but I'll just put them on the side. We won't need wings. We will need the cargo boxes. We'll need generators. Oh, that's damaged. That's the damaged version. Yeah, don't want to do that. I wonder if that's why the BP is red. I'll sort that out later, off screen, because that's just a bunch of console command stuff that's finicky as heck. So let's not do that. O2 station. I'm not sure if I added that. I might need another wireless extension, so I'm going to add that. General devices, those require like extra electronics, so I'm not going to add them. Anything more than I need, like trying to keep this as simple as possible. O2 tank, we're gonna need one. It already has one, but I might need to re-add it. Let's see. Anything else that I need to add? I don't put mobile constructors in these because this is just meant for bringing a little bit of resources back to the base so that you can get a better starter SV. Okay? It's just meant for puttering about a bit. Okay? So as usual, we need to make sure that the thrusters are we have enough pointing down thrusters, down facing thrusters. We've got a little bit of shaping we need to do here. I need to justify the shaping for this, so I might put another container controller just for ammo in the back. So I'm going to need container controllers and ammo. Container controller and ammo container controller, and let's just grab the other container controller for good measure. Let's get these off my hotbar. Put that, and this on the hotbar. I have a feeling I'll need that sooner rather than later. Oh, yeah, deal with that in a second. Move that there and that there. Tool charges. You never know when you're gonna need them. So let's trash that and trash that. Put that there and on the final slot. There we go. Organize my toolbar. I mean, anybody who works in a job, like a design job or a graphics design job or just a regular job, knows that you like to have an organized workspace. Heck, most people like to have the organized workspace. So I'm just setting that up and showing you what I do to set that up. So there we go. So we're going to get the multi-tool and just take a look at this. So that needs to be a steel block, so we're going to go ahead and grab that steel block. And we're going to start shaping the underside. Now, it's always a good idea to add some shaping. And go ahead and turn on symmetry plane. Just going to turn on that one for now. And always enjoy my mouse double clicking. That's always a highlight of my day. I mean, I can't deny that. That's me being sarcastic, by the way. If you couldn't tell. My humor is a little bit dry, so yeah, there's that. How am I going to do that shape? I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, it's this shaping. No. No. Of course it's not. It's that shape doesn't exist. Dilemma. Yeah, that's great. Okay. Well, in that case, I'll just do the simplified, Huh. Well, I kind of built myself into a corner there, didn't I? Well, let's take a look. Do I really have to do shenanigans? I really have to do shenanigans. That's great. Okay. So what do I mean by shenanigans? Well, shenanigans is basically I just keep adding blocks until something looks good. That's shenanigans. Like that. Just, yeah. It is what it is. Okay. That is what I call shenanigans. No, I don't want to use that sort of shape there. Oh. Interesting. Very, very interesting. You know, we can do something with that. Just not there. Very, very interesting. Let's see here. That's basically doing the same thing. Well, let's just keep it simple then. Now, the reason I'm using steel here is for the simple reason that, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, it'd be nicer if I could do something better there, but, it is what it is. So let's go ahead and set that out. Now, I could put like more landing gear back here, but I won't. For the simple reason that adding more landing gear back there is just not going to do anything. But I am going to get rid of those. And I'm going to turn off symmetry plane. And go ahead and put the container controller there. And that's the ammo controller. So now that we have that, I can turn symmetry plane back on, by the way. Let's see here. There we go. So ammo container in the start, you don't need much. You just don't need much. And I'm really not happy with that shaping there. Let's do something else. Because I don't want to add very much, I just don't want to add very much to it, you know, you don't need to add much to it. Again, running into this build thing, yeah, that's great. I have a feeling there's a block there that I'm just not seeing, but you know what, I don't have that feeling. It is what it is. So when you get into something like this, you may think to yourself, oh crap, I'm screwed, this is gonna look horrible. Don't be defeatist. Just don't do that. There's always a way to add some intrigue to the build and add some functionality. There's always a way to do that, and you just have to give yourself the motivation to do it. And I'm not giving myself a pep talk because that would be just nuts, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would just be nuts. So we're gonna grab these, and I shouldn't have gotten rid of that, but that's fine. I mean, I could do the undo function if I was smart, but it's fine. There we go. That looks acceptable. Now, we have up, down, left, right. Okay, there we go. Go ahead and grab that block and its textures. And add some container controllers here. Now, this is going to cut off container controllers there, but that is fine. I have some ideas about that. Well, I'm going to have to separate those somehow, which is great job, Akeva. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and just fill this in. And that's going to leave separation there. Now, one thing that I want to do is leave this so that you can add more down thrusters. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my steel blocks, and I'm going to add I'm going to get truss blocks because those cost less, I believe. Let's see here. We're going to get truss blocks, and we're just going to place them there. You know, I don't like using truss blocks. I really don't. I find them triggering because they add size class, they just look dirty, and it's just personal. It's personal, how do I say this? It's personal taste. That's what I'm looking for. So we can do that, and then it looks like there's room there to, so it'll look like there's room there to add more things, and that's what we want. I did not want to add more steel to the thing because carbon is easier to bring in for sometimes. Okay, so that is looking like a brick. Now, remember what I say about bricks. You will start by building bricks. You will embrace building bricks. But at the end of the day, you're going to be building bricks for something like this. Now, I'll come back to that. Okay, so what am I going to do there? I don't know. But one thing I am going to do is pull this back. So we're going to turn off symmetry plane. Copy blocks. And pull that back. There we go. Not. Now that's right next to the generator, but that's fine. We're going to go ahead and do symmetry plane again. And we're going to pull these generators forward. One block. Yeah. It dropped because it was holding up the starter stand. There we go. Now, I don't know why. Okay. Now, the next question is, did I cut off any of the container controllers connections? I believe that I did. No, I didn't. Okay. So, got that. That's the container controller. We're going to move that back as well, because I don't want that forward. I'm going to put that above the core. That's not what I wanted to do, but okay. Really? You don't have that? Oh, there it is. So we're just adding texture, we're just adding visual depth. Okay. Because we already have more cargo container and more storage than the thrust can handle at the moment, so I'm trying to cut it down a little bit, and I know that's probably counterintuitive. And then we're trying to trim it up a little bit. So we're trying to trim the build a little bit and cut it down a little bit because it's just too big, and add some flavor to it as a result. Yes, I just said flavor. My word choices suck, but that's alright. Okay, there we go. Now, we need to double check that we have all the devices that we want to add to this build. So we have the oxygen tank, we've got a storage box over here, but we don't have a armor locker. So, armor lockers I usually put on the top, and I try and build in a way that makes them visually, how do I put this? Visually agreeable. Word finding issues again. It's typical. It's fine. Okay, so now that I have that armor locker, I can go and move that. We have a. Do we have wireless controller? Let's double check that in the devices. Yes, we do. We have a wireless connection next to the core now that I remember what I was doing. Now, we can add the visual elements where. Okay, so let's do carbon here to do as little weight as possible. Do. That looks better. I guess I should have just done it this way from the get, but that's fine. That's not in that block menu, is it? I don't know. I don't know. There we go. Those are I forgot that I disregarded those because they add carbon substrate cost, they add silicon and copper cost for the devices, and they just don't do anything as a result. It's just really bad to add those. So I'm not going to be adding those. Trying to think of a way to do this shaping wise that's not going to add too much to it. And there, I have an idea now. Okay, good. Ah, dang it. I forgot about that bug. Let's see here. So it is important that you do not cover up this cockpit, the top of this cockpit, to any measurable degree, because I have found that if you do that, you can get stuck in it. So you can do this little thing here where I'm doing this, but just don't cover it up more than that, because it just will come back to bite you. Now, I think I'll just leave it as is because I don't want to do anything else to it on the top. We still have the bottom to work on, and I need to add this thing. So that when you get shot in the back, it's not going to give you too hard of a time. The reason I'm being liberal with steel here is because steel you can get from POIs. You can just get from this salvage that's around this starter area. It's just like, just salvage all the little wrecks that are around the starter area. Steel's not a problem early game. It's the carbon that's going to be a little bit of a problem if you're on a desert planet, but it's doable. And I'm not even going to cover that up because, yeah, that's not necessary to cover up. But because we need to put drills here, you know what? That's fine. I don't know. I just don't know with that. Let's go ahead and grab this. There we go. No, let's not do that. Let's do this. No, the other one looked better. Okay. There. Then you have a spot for drills, because the old Ravenclaw had drills, and you're good to go there. Okay, that's good to go. Now we just need to paint it and texture it. There we go. That's it. That'll do. I'm happy with that. Let's run through the checklist of devices. Let's take a look at the statistics. Okay, acceptable. Carbon substrate's a little bit high. Iron ingots, 76. Oh wow, that's not bad at all. Yeah, carbon substrate isn't too bad, but I want to lower that a little bit. I'd rather raise the iron and lower the carbon substrate amount a little bit, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's take a look at this, and let's turn on symmetry plane again. And we have a little bit of steel there. Good, good, good. Let's turn that to steel. And I'll turn this one to steel as well, just for that little bit of thruster protection. Anywhere else that could benefit from steel? Yeah, around these cargo boxes could, I guess. So let's go ahead and do that. And around this one should do it too. Just to give that cockpit a little bit extra protection. Please don't double click, please don't double click, mouse. There we go. And then we could use it around there as well, where the gats are. So that should work. Go. There we go. That's looking good. Okay. I mean, it still looks like a brick. It's a fancy brick, but it's a brick. And even people like me are gonna have fancy bricks. Okay, so don't feel bad when you make a brick, because you can always spruce it up and make it look better. So let's go ahead and start the texturing now that this is done. So first off, we're gonna get the black here, and we're gonna just replace all with it. And we're just gonna go with the steel texture because I like this steel texture. Now black is, well, black, and it's not very engaging. But for the sake of this video, because this is the GEI color palette that I've been working on for a while, we're gonna go ahead and switch that to white for the moment, just to save a little bit of, save our eyes a little bit. Next, we are going to get the glowies out because I love glowies. And I'm not going to turn on symmetry plane for a reason. No, wrong button. Undo. So the reason I'm not turning on symmetry plane is because there's going to be a couple of instances where I don't want symmetry plane turned on, because they will cause, a symmetry plane will cause issues. And I want to get those fixed first. Okay. Now, those are the two spots that I know symmetry plane will cause issues, so I can turn it on now. And I know I wasn't very clear. I know I didn't clarify which those spots were, and that's alright. There we go. Now, symmetry plane will cause issues here too, and I forgot about them, so I'm just gonna. I'd still have to texture these anyways, so let's do that. And I don't want that to be highlighted, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that, because I don't think it adds anything to it. Symmetry plane caused an issue there as well, but yeah, whatever. Let's just go ahead and fix that. No, I did not want that. Come on. Copy. Copy the right. Really? Okay. It was just that. Okay. Add there. Yeah, I just can't do that. It's just, yeah, that doesn't work. With such a small build like this, it is extremely hard to texture, and it just does not work very well. There we go. So you might be wondering what I'm doing here. And, well, that is trying something out. So, let's go ahead and fix that. Okay. Drats. No, that's not gonna work. Yeah, I'll go ahead and stop there. Okay, so, this is this color. So I'm gonna go ahead and configure that a little bit. So I want to add a little bit of blue to it. As you can see here, it goes really, really weird. But if you add just a little bit, let's do about 10. Okay. And then we turn this one to black. And then you do a little bit of light, you see that it's different. Just a little bit of difference. Not much. And this is why I like the sliders here, is because you can have a little bit of fun. Let's do, and you can actually enter. Okay. And then it turns it a little bit purple. Just a little bit. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now, I need to replace something because I forgot to do this. There we go. There. So, got landing gear. We cross that out. We've got ammo controllers. We've got container controllers. We've got a cargo box. We've got a container. Got the wireless extender. I'm not doing any LCD screens right now because it just adds to it. Thrusters done. O2 station done. Those are done. Blocks are done. Okay. It is done. And aside from my typical, well, I've got to go ahead and get rid of this. Control Shift A, delete. And now that right, so we want to save it as Raven's Claw Reborn, and that's this one. And we want to make sure to clear the pivot points when we override it. So, because the pivot point had that extra piece to it. And then now that that's done, we're going to destroy it. It's still red in the... I'll fix that later. And now that the pivot point's clear, we can go in, fly it around a little bit. This one maneuvers a lot better than the other one because I put everything rear of the point of... I put everything rear of the center of mass. So let's go ahead and take a look at that, what I did here, and I'll explain this. So if we go to debug and we show center of mass, that blue orb right there is the center of mass. And all of the thrusters are behind that, meaning that they give much more increased, much more thrust and torque. Wow, that was a horrible way of saying that, but they give better torque statistics versus if they were forward of the, well, versus if they were closer to the center of the mass. And that is a very interesting mechanic. Crud. I need to fix the thruster. No, don't replace building. Undo. Yeah. There we go. Color the thrusters, and you need to look at that thruster exhaust. Not the thruster itself, the thruster exhaust, so that's not working for whatever reason. There we go, that worked. Go. Anyways, as I was saying, this just gives much better... Gosh, I'm horrible with words today. This gives increased torque, and I need to save it with the camera adjusted as well. So again, we're just gonna not Alt-P, we're gonna hit override. Now, another thing that we have to figure out here is what frickin' device is illegal. I don't understand. We've got a basic core, we've got a cockpit, cargo boxes, ammo boxes. I'm wondering if expand all, SVHG, fuel tank small, O2 tank, generator small. What is the illegal device? I don't know. I'll have to figure that out later. You know what? I might have an idea. Minigun turret, placeable HV. Yeah, there's your problem. There's your problem. Minigun turret placeable. SV. Come on. Don't be a pain in my butt. Thank you. Now we just paint it. No, not blue. There we go. Don't know why that tooltip is so freaking broken, but whatever. Okay. Yep, that fixed it. For those of you that just noticed this, Aziz Light, yeah, when I do thumbnails, let's go ahead and turn off that debug, show center mask. When I do thumbnails, I like to have an extra light source sometimes, just to figure it out. So I redid this Polaris this Polaris Scout that's in the core prefabs to have just a bunch of lights on it and a bunch of fuel tanks. And this is something that I do just so I can get better thumbnails. I also did the same thing with it, where I have an LCD on it that's a line. And what I can do is, if I want to have a specific line on a ship, like if I want the ship like block shaping to fit a specific line that's very, very difficult to do, I can dock this to the ship, turn on symmetry plane, like a larger ship, turn on symmetry plane, and then just build to where it hits this line. And it was just something I thought about. And it's just a neat little tip if you want to, or a neat little idea if you want to. If you wanted that tip, or it's just something I do that I thought I'd share with you. You know this channel, it's helpful tips and tricks. So now on to the other part of the video, the build video, where I have, I'm just going to quickly touch on this because there's a little bit of time left. And this is the Light Striker. Now this I built in survival, and there's supposed to be blocks there that aren't there right now, which are triggering my OCD, so stand by while I fix my OCD, while I deal with my OCD. Let's just do that, and that, and of course, this is not the, let's configure this, copy. I am going to be publishing both of these, by the way, so I'm glad I'm doing this. Okay. There we go. And we need to replace that color with that color with the black color. There we go. I will be publishing both of these, and if I remember, I'll put a link in the description, but no promises there because I freaking forget all the time. And this was just something, yeah, that was something that I was goofing off with, and I hated, so I just left it there. So this is something that I will be publishing. It's a nice little starter. It's got decent amount of thrust. You've got a missile launcher and an RCS. Just whatever I wanted to add to it and whatever I got out of the POI at the moment. And I'll probably download this, not download it, downgrade it to just like deco blocks so that you can put something there instead, because missiles are hard to come by early game. So it'll probably be, I'll probably just move the Gatling gun over there and then just place some placeholder there for the moment. Or I might just remove it and put something else placeholder-y there. But anyways, this is just a nice little SV that is made out of bits and bobs, and just nice little starter SV. Little Light Striker. Anyways, yeah. That'll be it for today. The stuff that you see in the background are from previous videos that I haven't cleaned up the building area because I'm lazy. And I hope to see you guys next time. The rest of this video is going to be channel updates. So yeah, channel updates. Typical at the end, right? I know. Channel updates are as follows. The Ajax has been on the Discord as a... Sorry, stretching here. The Ajax has been on the Discord as a Discord exclusive for about a month and a half now. It is going to be moved to the workshop when I get a free slot. Sorry, I'm walking around and stretching right now. So it is going to be moved to the workshop. The Ajax will be moved to the workshop when I get some free time to write out the workshop post and the statistics for it. Mostly because I want to publish it on the workshop to fill out some workshop slots. I'm trying to do 1 to 2 workshop items a month on the workshop to get that ramped back up after everything that happened. Let's see, other channel notes are, remember that you get exclusive access to blueprints before anybody else, before the workshop, before they get published to the workshop. I often publish them to the Discord so that people can try them out, test them, give some feedback on them. And this is something exclusive that I add to the Discord. And I also do this for patrons as well. The larger projects, I typically shunt to the Patreon area for the patrons, the people that support me, to look at ahead of anybody else. I haven't been doing that as much as I need to be doing that, but I'm working on it, okay? As a reminder, on the Discord there is free merch free merch to spice up your device, and I take high quality screenshots so that I can add them to things like tablets or your phone. I have some more I will be adding in the next couple of days, some more exclusive. Again, this free merch, all you have to do is join the Discords. I guess not really free because you have to do a couple of clicks, but technically it's free, okay? Because you're not paying me anything. Anyways, that'll be it for today. Thank you to my patrons, JDVs and the Insane Aerospace Engineer. You guys help me out by helping me improve the channel, getting extra things such as a new mic setup, which I still need to do, and helping me out monetarily. Remember, any money that you donate to the channel goes back into the channel production. So, yeah. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Remember to be kind to your fellow humans. Try to inject a little common sense and logic into any discussions that you have on the internet. Remember to be as kind and cordial as you are in real life online. And make sure to protect yourself online. I hate injecting politics into these outros, but pro-Ukraine YouTubers are actively being targeted by the FSB. Okay? So, might not think that affects you, but I want to remind you guys to be safe online. It's not just scammers anymore. It's actual FSB. Like the Russian intelligence is going after YouTubers at this point, and it's real. I'm not joking here. I'm not hyperbolizing here. This is real. Okay? Just look it up. It's happened. It's already happened. And I highly encourage you to use a VPN. Make sure that you don't advertise that you're going on vacation. Make sure that you don't advertise where you are. If you're going to share pictures of your food from a coffee shop or something like that, or from like a restaurant or something, delay posting those pictures by a day, or at least 12 hours or something, until after you've been there. Okay? Celebrities do this constantly because they don't want people stalking them, and they don't want well, of course they don't want people stalking them, but they don't want to make it easy for people, okay? So, yeah. Be safe online. Exercise a little common sense. turn off your GPS on your phone and take some time to go through your applications on your phone and limit them so that they don't have access to GPS if they don't need it. You don't need TikTok to know where you are. You don't need your GPS on for TikTok. Come on, guys. Or Instagram or things like that. Come on. You also don't need them to have access to your camera when you're not uploading things, okay? You like, I know that's kind of asinine with TikTok and stuff, but just believe me, just allow once. Allow those when you want something like that, just click the allow once. And then I know it's extra time. I know it's extra headache, but you need to do that. It's online security, and make sure that you are using a service like a VPN or Incogni. I'm not sponsoring these guys right now. I use these services. I use Incogni, and the amount of ads that I get is reduced to the point where I get 1 to 2 spam emails a month. I know, that sounds insane. Or I get 1 to 2 spam calls a month. Doesn't that sound wonderful? 1 to 2 spam calls a month. 1 to 2 spam emails a month. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. I have seen a marked difference when I'm using services like Incogni. Now, I also recommend Delete Me, because a lot of YouTubers recommend it. I also recommend Aura. My family, my extended family uses Aura. I use Nord because I just personal preference here, but my family uses Aura. And with the amount of data breaches there are, the less digital information you have out there means that you are safer online. Okay, and it's not like, I know digital security is not absolute, and there's no way to be absolutely safe online from data breaches, but it's better than nothing, and it saves you peace of mind. You can't put a price on that. Well, I mean, you can, but you know what I mean. Alright, remember to be kind to your fellow humans, stay safe out there, and I hope to see you guys next time. I apologize that this outro is so long, but I felt that I needed to say this stuff. Alright, have a good day. Banshee out.